Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Now, after Taylor was arrested for having a police chase with the police, and she would be sent to prison for roughly about 3 months. It's there that she would find out that she would be, in fact, pregnant. But before we can continue that story, I wanted to just kind of address an elephant in the room regarding her father. Now, this next part that I would like to address, I just want to come out and say it has not ever been confirmed or denied. So this is purely speculation on my part as I was reading about Taylor Schabusiness and her family and just this entire just crazy story. And that theory that is very speculated. So allegedly the theory is that Taylor Schabusiness was also a victim of Arturo Coronado. As we both know, that he physically raped a 13-year-old child that was either a family of his at the time wife or may have been the very child of his at the time wife. And we also know that his late wife, Marla Coronado, had a heavy addiction problem to drinking. It has been speculated that Marla may have been aware of her husband's infatuations with younger children, which would explain why she had an addiction to drinking and would unfortunately end up drinking herself to schmeth. This obviously would be very traumatic for a Taylor Coronado, but that would not be the thing that actually really turned her life upside down. Around the time that she really started acting out and started using drugs, alcohol, and having schmecks with people was around the time that she was 11 or 12 years old. Around the same age that this particular girl was when she was assaulted by Arturo. And Arturo Coronado would not do anything about getting help for his daughter until he would actually walk in a room and find her trying to unalive herself in her bedroom when she was only 13. But as I said before, the only people that could really talk about this would be Arturo, Taylor Schabusiness, and Taylor's brother, AJ. But unfortunately, AJ would not be able to tell us anything, as around July of 2022, AJ was in a fatal motorcycle accident where unfortunately he lost his life. So the only people that could really tell us what happened would be either Taylor Schabusiness or Arturo. I don't think we'll ever have an answer to that, but I will kind of leave it up to y'all to just kind of decide if you believe he did or he didn't. Me personally, I kind of believe something must have happened, because this would explain a lot of Taylor's actions as a young child. Now, you're probably thinking, what about her husband, Warren Chabot, or Warren Schabusiness? Well, he too had been incarcerated around the same time that Taylor was. But Warren Schabusiness would actually be arrested for having possession of, with intent to distribute, crystal meth. And he would also be arrested for resisting arrest or resisting the police. And he would have a sentence fairly similar to what Arturo Coronado had, as both of them were going to be serving anywhere from 10 to 12 years. Now, with her husband behind bars and her father soon to be behind bars, it's around this time that Taylor Schabusiness had decided, with her being pregnant, she wanted to give motherhood her best shot. And she really wanted to try to get off the drugs and just kind of be a good mom for her soon-to-be child. So after she would get out in 3 months, she would actually pack her bags and move all the way back to Texas again and live with her grandmother again. She would also quit doing drugs completely, and she would also, around this time, be found on Facebook where she would be trying to sell like beaded jewelries. And she would also create a GoFundMe page as a way to kind of raise money. And it was kind of a weird kind of video for GoFundMe. She didn't really go into a description on what she needed, funds for, other than to, quote unquote, get her swole on. She would give birth to a son, and she would name him Mateo. Thankfully, she would not give Mateo her and her husband's last name of Schabusiness, but I'm not sure if they gave Mateo either the Coronado last name or the Chabot last name. But we do know that they did not give Mateo the Schabusiness last name, and thank God. Unfortunately, Taylor Schabusiness would not be able to keep Mateo very long, as around April or May of 2021, she would actually lose custody of Mateo, to where Mateo would be put in the care of Warren's parents, taking on the fact that she had lost custody of her son, and considering the fact that she had various different mental illnesses on top of having postpartum. Taylor Schabusiness would try to attempt self-unaliving multiple times, to having no success. And then Taylor Schabusiness would run into tragedy yet again. As the year of 2021 would be getting closer to 2022, Taylor Schabusiness would receive news that her husband, Warren Schabusiness, had been unfaithful to her. Taylor would claim that either Warren had cheated on her while he was in prison, or he had been unfaithful prior to being arrested and getting into prison. And in good tweaker fashion, it is there that Taylor would air out all her dirty laundry all over social media, primarily Facebook. And she would go to her keyboard and begin typing away, talking about how she had been loyal this entire time, and that her husband would only treat this by either abusing her and also being unfaithful to her. And it is there that she had made a declaration that she would never ever again get into a serious relationship, with the hashtag can't trust anyone. And after making this declaration on Facebook that she couldn't trust anyone, it's around this time that Taylor Schabusiness wanted to get back onto the bitch. And around January of 2022, she would get back in touch with an old friend from school, Shad Therian. And at the time of reconnecting with Shad, she would find out that Shad too also smoked meth and was just as artistic as he was in the past, and they would quickly rekindle a relationship. Now, it is said that at the time, Taylor did not want to pursue a serious relationship and had just purely wanted to be like a friends with benefits type of engagement. But it has been stated by Shad's mother that he was completely enamored with Taylor and wanted to just build a serious relationship. It's unsure what her intentions were with Shad Therian as far as relationship-wise. I highly doubt that she had any intentions of being in a serious relationship with Shad, other than just primarily hooking up as friends with benefits. But this would bring us back to the beginning of our video of February of 2022, where police would be looking on their records and trying to find Taylor Schabusiness.